Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Kari Vlogs. I'm Kari, and today's video is just a little chat. I wanted to catch up and tell you about what I've been up to. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So I actually have my makeup done. I wasn't super happy with how my hair was, so I just took it down, but I just got out of an interview, and if you're anything like me, interviews make you so nervous and you feel like you just cannot prepare enough. If you're not somebody who prepares for an interview before you go in, I don't know how you do it, but you definitely should start preparing. So what I did over the weekend is I actually took the job description. It's an internal position that I applied to. I took the job description that was posted in the application, and then also took my resume and I put both of those into AI. I personally love using Grok. And then I asked Grok to give me interview questions based on all of what I provided to it. And it did such a great job. It was able to help me refine my answers and make sure that I don't use filler words. Like I use the word a lot and I use the word like a lot. And every time I used those words, it said something along the lines of you need to refine your answers by taking out those filler words. Not only that though, it also was able to ask me questions that were keyed toward the job itself based on my experience, and then also gave me feedback for all of my answers. And I was able to fine key my answers even more than I thought I had already done, which was a really great help when it came to my interview. And I actually really felt prepared for this one. I wasn't nervous like I was with my last interview. My last interview, I was applying for an HR position, and for whatever reason, I just like started shaking during my interview. I got so anxious, and after my interview, I literally felt like I was gonna have an anxiety attack. I'm a really high anxiety person, and I was diagnosed with anxiety, and it just, I don't know what it was, but that got the best of me. This time was completely different. I was calm, I was relaxed, and I think I did a good job. She did say that going from the position I'm in now to going to that position is kind of a jump, but that there are more positions in between that are the same role, but they work with lower accounts. It was an account manager position, and this one was for strategic accounts, which at my employer, there are higher tiered customers. But she did say that there was what's called a mid-market account manager as well, which is working with those lower earning customers, you can say, so like smaller businesses, which I told her I would be completely fine with considering working in that type of position, especially because I don't have direct experience with this role specifically. But in my role right now, we work very close with them, if that makes sense. She said she is in back-to-back interviews right now and will have an update for me within 10 days, but hopefully by the end of this week. So that is really fun. So this weekend I did my usual garage sale, and it was nice. We were gonna do it Saturday, but I actually didn't get to do it on Saturday. I did it Sunday, which was yesterday. And then yesterday I went to go take my dog outside, and the neighbor's dog was in my yard and running up to my dog, and he made me fall. And my arm is all scraped here. This arm is scraped, and then my knees, I'm not going to show it because it's disgusting, but my knees are literally like so tore up. So what happened was I opened the door and my dog started heading this way, but I saw the neighbor's dog right here on the left side of the stairs running up toward us. So as I was yelling at him to go home and trying to get the attention of my neighbors, which are his owners, I also locked the leash to try and pull my dog back inside because I didn't know what that dog was going to do. He always comes over here. He tries to fight with my dogs. He's bit one of my kids before. And I wasn't paying attention to what my dog was doing because I was too focused on the other dog and trying to stop anything that was going to happen. And my dog kept running because he had to go outside. It was the first thing in the morning. I locked the leash to pull him back in, while I'm paying attention to this other dog, and my dog keeps running. He doesn't pay any attention to that dog. And so my dog ended up pulling me, and the leash was locked, so it wasn't that long. We have I think it's a 20-foot leash, so it goes really long, but I stopped it at maybe like 7 feet because that's my reaction time. And so he pulled me, and I fell from the top of the stairs onto I fell off the top of the stairs onto our concrete in like our back walkway that leads to our driveway. And I was so mad at the time. Like, my adrenaline was so high that I literally didn't feel any pain. I was so mad. I was shaking. I was screaming, literally screaming and crying. And the neighbors were nowhere to be found. Their dogs were just outside by themselves. So I go upstairs like screaming in tears because now the pain is starting. Like, now the initial shock is over. My body is starting to like wake up and be like, oh, you're in pain. And then I come downstairs, and my husband, like, you know, he tries and like helps me down the stairs because my legs are just like dripping blood at this point. And I was like, I need you to help me clean these. Like, please help me clean this. I can't do it. I had rocks stuck in my knee. It was bad. They haven't said anything to me. They haven't apologized. They haven't put a leash on their dog. He's running around out there right now. Last night, the pain really started. Like, my knees were just like destroyed, in so much pain. My arms are in pain. Today it's even worse, and my bedroom is upstairs. We have like 15 stairs we have to walk up, and trying to walk down those stairs this morning was awful. But I'm glad that's all that happened to me, and everything else is fine, and my dog is fine. So another big thing that happened this weekend, my son and I, actually this happened on Thursday, my son and I went to a really cool reptile show at the local library, and we got to pet lizards, and we got to pet snakes, and we learned all kinds of different interesting facts. Here's a couple of videos that I took from that. And then I also rented this book called My Magnolia Summer. I don't have a bookmark, so don't pay attention to my napkin. I'm gonna have to pick one up when I go to the library again. But so far this is a really good book. I am on page 146, and there are 333 pages. And I actually just noticed that there's recipes in the back of this book. So in this book, the girl is a chef, and she's also Southern and talks a lot about her Southern heritage, and then also about her grandma and her grandma's best friend that basically raised her. And this heartbreak soup is actually one of the things that they make for her in this book, and it's really cool that there's a recipe for it. And I want to look this up and see if it's like a real thing, and I also really want to try it. So it includes, let's see, there's white wine, onions, carrots, celery, garlic, red pepper flakes, bay leaves, tomatoes, beans, chicken broth, red wine vinegar, and Parmesan cheese. It sounds amazing. Oh my goodness, I want to try making that. But anyway, this is by Victoria Benton Frank, and I know her mom, Dorothy Frank, was an author as well. She actually mentions her quite a few times in this book, which I think is really cute. Some of the characters have Dorothy Frank as their favorite author, and they like rave about her books in this, which is really cute. I love that homage to her mom. I think that's adorable. So this is My Magnolia Summer, again, by Victoria Benton Frank, and she actually has a second book coming out at the end of this month, and I'm really excited to get that as well. And I really hope my library is going to get it. I need to look it up online to see if I can put a hold on it if they do end up getting it, because I want to read it. started this book yesterday during my yard sale, actually, and by the time I fell asleep, I was on page 146, so that's how you know it's a good book. I am somebody who am just now, finally this year, getting into reading, and I don't know if you watched it, but definitely check out my goals video. I will link it in the iCard above. I started a goals video at the beginning of this year, and one of my goals was to read one book for every month of the year, so 12 books during the year. And this will be, I think, my 5th or 6th book. I'll have to look and see, and I'll put right here what book it is. And I think I'm actually probably gonna pass my goal because I just did get a library card again. I used to have one years ago, and then COVID hit, and then tons of things happened, and I never ended up going back to the library. But now I'm going to all these different events with my kids at the library, which is super fun. I actually have one at the end of the month that I'm going to take my 6-year-old to, where she's going to read to therapy dogs, which is so fun. And then I took my girls to a STEM event they had where they got to like play with robots and stuff, which was really cool. And they just have all kinds of different events going on for kids all the time. They have adult events as well, like book club and stuff like that, but I never have time to do that for myself, unfortunately. But yeah, so I've been going back to the library quite frequently, and I'm really, really loving it. And my kids are loving it because they get to go and explore and like check out different books. It's really fun. I'm so happy with it. I'm outside right now enjoying the view and reading my book. I am now on page 195. I recorded yesterday that I was on page, I think, 130 something. So I've read quite a bit more. Super excited. I'm almost done, and it is such a good book so far. If you're into romance novels, and I guess if you're into like cooking and stuff like that in books, this is a good one for you. So I actually just recorded this part of the video this morning when my daughter was in therapy and I was outside reading my book. And since then, I have gone to the library and I actually got a second book because I'm almost done with the first one, and I never know when I'm going to have time to run down to the library, even though it's literally like 2 to 3 minutes away from my house. So I got this book called Family by Lori Frankel. I've never heard of her before, or I feel like I've heard her name, but I've never read any books by her. So I wanted to pick this up. I thought it was a really cute book. I love how the back looks. And I know, don't judge a book by its cover, but I like judging books by the cover, especially because I'm not somebody who was very interested in reading growing up. So I'm still kind of getting a feel for what I like when it comes to books. And this one kind of spoke out to me. I actually have this picture that I took last time at the library, and this book was in the background because this was the next one that I wanted to read, and it was next to this book on the shelf. So I figured I would go back while I was already out and pick up that book because I am almost finished with this book. And then we also have a food donation box at our library, so I dropped off some cereal in there, and they were having like a super fun kids event that I completely forgot about, where they had like swimming pools and water slides, and then our fire department for our town went over there and they also had like a foam machine that they did, and I thought that was really cool. And there was literally like no parking in the whole parking lot, so I just pulled into the curbside spot right in front of the doors because nobody was there, and they have 3 spots because I knew exactly what book I was gonna get, and I had other books to drop off anyway. So literally from the time I parked the car to the time I got out, I was in there for maybe 2 minutes, if even that. So it was a really nice trip. Again, I'm gonna read this book after I'm done with my Magnolia summer book, and I plan to do a book review on both of these books, so make sure you watch out for that video coming soon, hopefully in the next week or 2. That is all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to do a quick chat video and let you know about things that happened to me this weekend. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments below if you've ever read this book before, or let me know what your favorite books are to read. I really enjoy a mystery romance book, like a murder mystery romance, but not something that's like too erotic, if that makes sense. So please let me know your book suggestions in the comments below. I always look forward to looking for new books, especially if my library carries them. My library also has an online thing where you can rent your books for Kindle, which is cool, and I can read them on my tablet, which I absolutely love doing. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can be updated on when I post new videos. I will see you on the next one. Bye!